right, we are back from Aldi. Now, I did pick up a couple of things at Cermak because the prices were cheaper there, but I'm going to give you all the prices. I got all the prices at Aldi, and I actually came below $30 for this Aldi haul. I came out to $28.30, and this is enough meals and food for 2 people for the week. So first of all, I got some cosmic apples. They were $1.49, so I did grab those. So now we have like apples to go with oatmeal, because we're doing oatmeal. We're doing oatmeal in this house. If we're not doing potatoes, we're doing oatmeal. So 1 container of oatmeal, $2.99. That'll last us for the whole week, whether you cook it or do overnight oats. You can add in the apple. I also did grab a few bananas. They were pretty cheap. These were 86 cents. So basically we kind of have our snacks and our breakfast done for under $5. The other thing I did get was a 10-pound bag of potatoes. These are the russets. And this potato queen, we're gonna have lots of potatoes. Also did pick up 4 very generous sweet potatoes because I'm thinking of a lentil and sweet potato soup, and we're just going to see what we have in the house to add to that. I was able to get celery for 99 cents and a bag of carrots also for 99 cents. I want to use 3 or 4 of these carrots to make carrot hot dogs. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but we're going to do that. My whole concept for the meal prep for this week is kind of like Super Bowl Sunday meets being healthy, I guess. So we're going to do some carrot hot dogs, hot dog buns, $1.45. And then we can also use those buns and just toast them in a pan to go with our pasta, little garlic powder on them, whatever. And so I'm thinking chili, I'm thinking a big soup. And then the potatoes will go in some of the soups. We'll also bake some so we can have like a baked potato bar, adding chili and whatever else toppings. Did get some green onions to do that. And then again, chili dogs. So we have our dogs and we have our buns, and we're gonna put the chili on top of them. And then we'll just do a few other things. So now for the chili, I did price out. Let me just grab my figures here. So I did price out, and this was actually the very first time that I found Aldi having chickpeas, and they were 85 cents a can. I put down 2 cans, and then the black beans were 79 cents a can. I put down 2 cans, but because I cook my beans from dry, I just took those out of the freezer. Because I cook mine from dry, if you got a 2-pound bag of black beans, that was $2.85, and that was a 2-pound bag, and that would be about, I'm going to say, 8 to 10 cans of the black beans, believe it or not. So I also grabbed the sweet peppers. They were also on sale for $1.99. This one you could omit, you could omit that one, but I thought that would be a little nice addition to the chili. I also grabbed grape tomatoes. They were also on sale for $1.99. Those were like the cheapest. I should have just bought plum tomatoes, to be perfectly honest. I did get some cilantro. It was 3 for 99 cents. I just have to clean that. I also got a loaf of whole wheat bread. Now, I normally get the 12 grain, but as you could tell, it was a little bit more expensive, so I actually just got the whole wheat. And that's where the chickpeas are gonna come in. We are going to make like a chickpea salad for our sandwiches, so we can go between sandwiches or soup and sandwiches, whatever you wanna do, totally up to you. But this is kind of the meal prep that I'm doing this week. I also got a bag of pasta. It's a 1-pound bag of pasta, which is more than enough for 2 people. And it was 74 cents. Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, 74 cents for that. We also got a bag of lentil, which was like $1.39. Yes, $1.39. I'm good with my prices. Now, when it came to rice, so I have quinoa, and I have white rice, and I have brown basmati, you know, that one right there. I don't know. My mouth isn't working today. Basmati, that's it. There we go. So you use whatever you have. So the white rice for a 2-pound bag was $2.55, and that would be more than enough probably for a month for 2 people at least, depending on what you're making. So I am going to do like a pasta sauce with the green lentils that I have. And then I also have some cooked lentils already that I'm defrosting. All that's going to go into the chili. I also am working from what I have in my pantry that we're still trying to use up. So I do have a can of kidney beans that's going in the chili. And then also like sweet potatoes are great. You could just mash them up with a couple of, and add oats to them and make cookies or whatever. So again, I got 4. So we only need probably 1 or 2 for the soup. And then I have onions, which I figured out that were 19 cents an onion from the onions that I bought before. And and the other savior is this huge cabbage. This cost me $2.50. So that's definitely, I love it just braised in a pot, like just braised and cooked and eaten like that. And again, 50-50 plates would be perfect with the potatoes, and also in soups and almost anything. I don't know. I love, and I can make a cold salad too. I can make like a coleslaw and just use a little bit of vinegar in it. So we'll wait and see how all that transposes. But that's basically it. So we're going to get cooking, and let's go, and I'm going to show you how all this pans out for the week. All right, so now we're going to get to our budget-friendly meals for the week, and we're going to keep these super simple because we're going to do our chili in the crock pot. You can just set it, forget it. It'll be ready a couple of hours, tomorrow, whenever. This is what I love, and I love serving it from here too because everybody can just kind of help themselves with Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Don't know if you're aware, Super Bowl Sunday is coming up, so I'm just going to chop up some of my veggies, and it's a dump and go. Honestly, guys, it's a dump and go. Now, I did grab a couple of things from my pantry that I had that I wanted to use up. Green chilies. These ones are fire roasted and peeled. So we're going to throw that in because they need to get used. They've been there for a little bit. Again, an onion. I'm going to do some celery, a bunch of beans, a can of diced tomatoes, a couple of cans of tomato sauce, and then a bunch of spices. And I'm going to add lentils to this. You can also add TVP to up the protein. TVP or lentils, still really good. TVP is pretty cheap, and it does like pack a good boost for protein. But I'm just going to stay with whole food plant-based. We're going to use lentils this time. But those are all options. And don't forget, you can serve your chili over the rice. So we're going to do a container of rice, or use the rice maker to make a batch of rice. And then you could also make a rice pudding from that. The only thing I did forget, I believe, in the grocery haul was almond milk that we got at Aldi. I don't know if you've been watching, but I've been making my own soy milk. So I have some of that in the fridge. But my husband likes the almond milk, so we did grab that. So let's just get chopping and dropping. Let's go. So we're just going to take our celery and into our pot. Now I'm just going to peel the garlic. If you don't have garlic, use garlic powder, garlic salt, whatever you have. I find it easier to use powders than salt because you don't want too much salt. A lot of us are a little bit, SOS, so we don't want to have extra salt. And again, we're saving all of our scraps. We're going to take our garlic and dump. Next, we're going to do our onion. Okay, so we've added our black beans in here. I'm going to add in some of the lentils. Add in our tomato sauce. Just going to run some water through it. All right, so we're adding in our chilies, some crushed tomatoes, and we're going to add in our kidney beans. We're going to add in some chili powder, some smoked paprika. We're going to go over the flavors later, and then a little bit of oregano. And as always, adjust it to your seasoning, but let this cook for a couple of hours, and then you can go in and layer more flavors. Okay, we're gonna let that start cooking. And don't you worry, those lentils are gonna plump up and make this nice and meaty. All right, now meal number 2, or dish number 2, is going to be our soup. So I did defrost just some brown lentils that were already cooked in the freezer, because you know I like to have them prepared. I have the other half of the onion, trying to keep it away from me because I am tearing up already. I'm going to add in some of the sweet potato. I have our stock, defrosting. I should have taken it out yesterday, totally forgot. So we have our stock that we made ourselves. And then we're just going to, I'm going to add in like 1 carrot and some of that cabbage. And, oh, maybe a pepper. Yeah, let's do that. And then some garlic. And we're going to go with that. And, oh, and some celery. We have celery, we might as well use it. I'm going to use some of it for our snack tray, because you guys know us and our snack tray around here. Let's go. Okay, so we have our onions, celery, the 2 components of our mirepoix, and then I'm going to use a carrot. Now I normally just buy my carrots loose, but I just, for this one, I wanted to make sure that I could make everything for $30. And I might as well just slice these and put them in for our soup and for our snack tray. I've just chopped up 1 of the orange peppers. I'm actually going to do this in the Instant Pot. So we're starting with our Instant Pot on the saute function. I'm going to add a little bit of water in here. And I'm going to dump in the onions, the celery, the carrots, and the peppers. Let's put in the garlic. And then we're just going to let those saute for 5 minutes or so. I've peeled and chopped 1 sweet potato. I'm using this new spice that I got. It's organic, no salt from Costco. I'm just going to use that for some extra flavoring. And I'm going to use about 1/4 cup of brown rice. We're going to have our lentils and our brown rice. That'll make a complete protein. In case you were worried about that. I wasn't, but you might have been. We're going to add in our veggie broth. Water. I think that should be good for now. I'm going to add the lentils at the end because they're already cooked, so they don't need to be cooked anymore. Oh, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this cabbage. Now, we're going to seal this. I'm going to do it for 6 minutes. All right, now if you're enjoying this video, I know you are. You guys are here for me. I love that I have your love and support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, scooch on over, hit that bell icon, because with the algorithm now, if you're not subscribed and you haven't hit that bell icon, you probably will never find me again. And I want us to be friends. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If you're finding any tips or tricks or anything that you can relate to. And if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to leave me comments down below. I do love them so much. I love interacting with everybody. It just makes me feel a lot closer to you. And if I can help in your weight loss journey or your healthy journey, I'm here. So, look how good this chili looks. I told you it thickened up, nice and hearty. Perfect over the rice, over potatoes, on chili dogs, whatever we have. So this is the soup. I've added some seasoning to it, some salt, some pepper, some cayenne. Alrighty, so we are going to finish up our meal prep for this part of the week, and the last two things we need to do is make our carrot dogs and bake our potatoes. So I'm baking some sweet potatoes, and I'm also baking some russet potatoes. I'm going to put those in the oven, just let them roast until they're nice and tender. And you know, sweet potatoes with a hot chili or spicy chili is a really nice complement to it. But I'm also thinking I might make some brownies or something. So I have 2 sweet potatoes that I'm doing. And I'm only going to cook about 6 potatoes for now. And then I'm going to show you how I set up for company or whatever using this great meal prep. And then of course, we're just going to continue to eat it all week. In the oven, our potatoes go. The next thing we need to do is we're going to do our carrots. I've already cut these carrots so they're about the same size as a hot dog bun. And let me show you how we're going to morph them into hot dogs. My lighting in here does definitely suck. We're just going to cut off the tops and the bottoms. This one I'm going to leave. I'm just going to use my peeler, and you're going to peel your carrots. And then you can kind of like all right, so our carrots are cooked and they are fork tender. Now we're going to put them in the marinade. I'll leave the recipe down below, guys. Super simple, and we're going to let these marinate for a couple of hours. All right, once your carrots have marinated, we're just going to grill them up a little bit. Now, if you have a grill pan, that would be best because you'll get the little grill marks, but I do not. So or these would be great on a barbecue too if you're outside and it's summertime. But we are just going to kind of brown these a little bit. All right, we have our setup. I've got the crock pot out with the chili in it. We have our carrot dogs. And yes, I'm probably going to put mustard and ketchup on them. No comments from the peanut gallery. And then I just have some simple toppings, some green onions or spring onions. This is just a plain yogurt that I'll use like as a sour cream. I do have some shredded vegan cheese, and again, I don't always have that, or I don't normally eat that, but if I was doing this for friends who weren't vegan, I would definitely have that out. And then we have some cilantro. We also have our baked potato, again with some chili on top of it. You could do it however you want. You could add other fixings for your baked potato, but they can always use the sour cream and any of the other fixings over here. And that's the beginning of our meal prep for this week. All right, my friends, we are at the end of this meal prep. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a couple of tips or tricks. If you have, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and like this video. It does really help. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon, because if you don't, the algorithm, you're never going to find me again. And that's sad. So again, I'm here to help and show you what I'm doing to continue to lose weight. Again, I've lost 100 pounds. You guys can do it too. Until the next video, don't forget to make the rest of your life the best of your life.